Hello and welcome back. It's your host, Jeremy Mountain, with another episode of Blue Mafia. Fans of the game, fans of football, fans of playoffs. It's win or go home. Finally, the Bills have reached the win or go home stage of the playoffs. They're back where they've been the last few years since the General Josh Allen made his triumphant gallop into Orchard Park. We're back. We're back in the playoffs. We're going to give you 5 things to watch for in a sneaky game against Mike McDaniels and the Miami Dolphins. This is not going to be as easy as everybody's talking about. I'm going to tell you why. And then, of course, the implications have reached the end. No more implications, just top 6 quarterback matchups around the NFL because it's win or go home, baby. Let's get right into it. Just quickly going to grade Josh Allen. Mind, mechanics, moxie last week. Mind, going to go about a B+. Mechanics, we're going to go about an A-. And moxie, we're going to go about an A. I thought that he was strong. Everybody wants... I don't know what everybody wants. I'm getting sick of the hate on Gabe Davis. Not going to waste any time on that because you know how I feel here at Blue Mafia about that guy. Great warrior. But I don't know what everybody expects out of this offense, and we're 13-3. We're the 2 seed. We won the division. Took care of business. Some injuries occurred, but for the most part, Micah Hyde, huge return to practice. Even if he's not on the game field, the fact that he is on the practice field, there was a really good picture of Trey White, the grin on Trey White's face, pointing to his boy Micah Hyde. Just to have that guy out there flying around and talking smack in practice is going to help this Bills team. It's going to help this Bills defense. Speaking of defense, if you didn't notice, my first defensive jersey I think I've ever owned, possibly ever. Matt Milano, Warrior, hopefully a long time Buffalo Bill, and first team All-Pro. Congrats to the Warrior 58. Dorsey, though, unfortunately, I did see some reports about Dorsey and Joe Brady both being interviewed for high positions around the NFL. Cross our fingers. Let's not get down that rabbit hole yet. If that does occur, be sure your boy will be here to point out some other candidates that might be a good fit for Buffalo if and when we see Ken Dorsey or Joe Brady leave. Wouldn't surprise me to see Dorsey take the job in Carolina, because how many times in a football life do you have an opportunity to head coach an NFL team? Hopefully he gets us that ring before potentially leaving. But moving on to the Dolphins, task at hand, win or go home. A lot of people pointing to Chip Skylark, Jenna Cottrell, Buffalo Plus podcast. She, Dan Fates, Mike Canalana, they do an outstanding job. I always watch their pods or listen, and I did find it very funny that they refer to Skylar Thompson as Chip Skylark. I don't necessarily see Skylar Thompson winning a game of this magnitude in Buffalo. Would probably help if they were at home. But I got some other news here. Breaking. Teddy Bridgewater is questionable for this game. Teddy Bridgewater has a finger injury on a release where he hit it on someone's hand a couple weeks ago. He's listed as questionable, and everybody has said, everywhere I see, that they're practicing as if Chip Skylark, a.k.a. Skylar Thompson, is going to be the starter. But I couldn't find anything that said don't expect to see Teddy Bridgewater on 100% level. So my point being, if you're Teddy Bridgewater and you've seen your boy Tua Tuggy get his eggs scrambled several times this year, and you're on a playoff team, you were brought in for this reason, how do you not play if you're Teddy Bridgewater? How do you not get out there? How do you not at least give it a try? So everybody talking about this game like it's going to be a blowout because of Skylar Thompson being a 6th-rounder and he's not going to beat you. Well, Teddy Bridgewater is just a couple years removed from a really, really productive season with the Saints, and don't be surprised to see him out there. Am I that scared of Teddy Bridgewater? No. But he can get the ball to these athletes, and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, obviously extremely dangerous weapons. Unfortunately for the Dolphins, they do not have their main running back. They do still have Jeff Wilson and Selvin Ahmed. Couple tough runners. The Bills got run on a little bit by Miami here in Orchard Park on a very cold night. This one's going to be Sunday at 1. Probably will be a little chilly, but as we know in Orchard Park at 1 p.m., it's always a godly day for the most part. The sky's typically clear for a nice nooner. The Dolphins' defense, though, number 2 here, is tough. I don't know why a quarterback on the other side of the ball for the Dolphins has such an impact on what this defense can do to the Bills' offense. We've seen them stymie several teams along the way. The historical loss due to the historical weather that we played against Miami in Miami, statistically we ran it down their throat, but they did things to stop us. They did things to stop Josh. They did things to prevent points from being put on the board. And ultimately, playing it too safe could lead to a closer game than Buffalo wants this Sunday. This Dolphins defense is tough. You've heard me talk a lot about Javon Holland here since he came into the league. Major X Factor. And they have a guy that literally goes by the nickname X Factor in Xavier Howard, who's the only guy left from their previous playoff run, which wasn't anything special. But you got to think that this Dolphins team would love nothing more than to shock the world this Sunday. Ultimately, number 3, the expectations of this Dolphins team were not this. Despite a last quarter of the season being extremely challenging and despite the injuries, nobody expected this Dolphins team to be here, and they should be proud of themselves. And Mike McDaniel, he's a little squirrely. Do I agree with my former coach, Griff, when he commented on Facebook that I had said I liked Mike McDaniel before he wore that stupid shirt with the capris? And Griff, to his credit, said he should have never been playing Tua under those conditions. And I don't disagree. I know that there's protocols in place, but McDaniel, he had to have thought about the fact that, do I play this kid or not? But I have faith that McDaniel kid is going to bring it this weekend, and I think he's got some things up his sleeve. I wouldn't be surprised to see some Wildcat type activity. Expect him to bring out the entire creative medley, seafood medley, coming this weekend. It's not going to be easy. No playoff game is easy. Do I expect the Bills to win? Yes. Do I expect them to win by 20 points? Yes, because anything less I'll be disappointed in. But it's going to be tough because number 4 here, tell, don't show. One of my best professors at Buff State once gave me a great lesson in writing and life, which is show, don't tell. And this week, the Bills have to tell without showing. They have to tell people how to tell time without teaching them how the clock works. And what do I mean by that? It's going to be difficult to win this game pretty without showing what you want to save for a more structured and powerful opponent. Obviously, with Tua out, coaching staff, players have to be feeling pretty confident, but ultimately still going to have to execute, still going to have to get creative, and still have to try and save some things for next round, soupy, everything. But with as little as teams are left, I'm not too worried about saving too much, but tell, don't show this weekend and execute properly, and you should be on top by at least 3 touchdowns. Number 5 here, the Lions effect. We may see a respectful battle this Sunday. We may see Miami lay down because they know that they don't have enough to win a soupy. But Tyreek Hill sent you home the last 2 years. And Tyreek Hill would send you home if he could. I need the Bills to finish nasty. I need them to watch their backs. I need them to not buy into any dirty shit, get any suspensions or anything like that. Just a good quality win, good quality, safe win. And don't forget about the fact that the Lions played with a major roar against Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau and prevented Aaron Rodgers from going on to the playoffs with no motivation other than wanting to end their season. And that is what the Dolphins are tasked with this Sunday, is nothing more than preventing Josh Allen and the Bills from moving on. It's going to be a good one. Buckle your seatbelts. Allen's got to play smart. Obviously, you probably heard everybody talking. He can't throw the ball to the other team in the red zone. No quarterback can do that and win. But I got the Dolphins going down big. I'll give you my pregame dump in the morning tomorrow. But we've got, on the other side, pick'ems for all 6 playoff matchups. So stick around. Thanks for listening. The implications have come to the win or die portion of the season. We're going to break them down. We're going to give you what we think, and at the end, we're going to pick them. Fans of the game, fans of quarterbacking, stick around here, because we're going to give you what you need to do on your pick'em card. Just kidding. Don't gamble. Just have fun and watch this weekend. Gambling's stupid, and it wastes your money. And then you just don't enjoy the game as much because you're rooting for the wrong reasons. So, without further ado, here is your Super Wild Card Weekend. The NFL did not pay me to say that. Gino at Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has not made it onto the implications somehow. I don't know how I didn't get him on here. My bad on that. Obviously, the kid has been a spark. The kid has done everything that Shanahan needs them to do. He can get the ball to the athletes because he was just in college. He played with Breece Hall and Ibrahim. Can't remember his first name, but Ibrahim, running back. They had a sick receiver at Iowa State. I don't even know where he is now. But Brock Purdy played a lot of big-time football in the Big Ten, and he played a lot of NFL-style quarterback in the Big Ten. And he has been a blessing. Obviously, McCaffrey helps them. Quarterback's best friend. Guy literally plays receiver and running back at the same time. Gino, who do you root for in this scenario? Do you root for the old grizzled vet, Geno Smith, with the old scooter-riding Pete Carroll? Kenneth Walker, Beast Mode Jr., does he bust off one that really seals the deal? I could see the Seahawks winning this game. I will be honest. Everybody is riding the 49ers. They're talented. They're tough. They're smart. But what does it say that this is a divisional opponent? What does it say that Pete Carroll has been here before? What does it say that these teams play each other a lot and they know each other? I know the 49ers are sweet and sexy, but if anybody knows that sweet and sexy sauce that Shanahan can bring, say that 5 times fast, it's Pete Carroll, Grandpa Pete. I got some really good feelings about this Seahawks team. I don't know. DK Metcalf hasn't done a whole lot yet. Tyler Lockett, one of the most underrated receivers in the league. I don't know how the Seahawks have zero chance in this game. Now, that being said, does Purdy have the comfort that he had all season in this postseason? It's riding on the Purdy boy. I don't know. I don't know if he can really keep it that cool, and if he takes a couple hits, a couple bad throws, a couple picks. Do you really trust Brock Purdy to go win it for you? He's come back, but he hasn't come back in the playoffs. We'll keep an eye on that. Herbie versus Trev. This one is so cool to me because I feel like this is like the next generation all the way. Like all the kids right now have got to be having their eyes on this one. Trevor Lawrence. I heard a comment by Bill Simmons, and he put it in terms of Trevor Lawrence is like a couple years behind the development of Justin Herbert. He's just not ready yet. Something along those lines. And I disagree. I disagree because of the coach. We're talking about Doug Peterson, the Golden Visor, the Bronze Visor, who took Carson Wentz and Nick Foles to a soupy. And on the other side, Brandon Staley just got his wide receivers, broke my back last week in a meaningless garbage time when they didn't need to be playing Mr. Glass, the Glass Bros, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Do I agree that Brandon Staley should have been not playing them on account of their glass bones? Yes. But can we go 3 weeks without an injury? Keenan and Mike? I have a good feeling about this Jaguars team because of the Bronze Visor. ETN is a weapon. These receivers are overachieving. Last week was ugly. Trevor was a little ugly. But that Titans team is ugly, and they're tough. And Josh Dobbs played tough. Even though he wasn't on the team 2 weeks ago, he played tough. And they did what they needed to do. And now they have a home playoff game, which who would have thunk that the Bronze Visor and Sunshine would be hosting Justin the Golden Boy Herbert, who, in my opinion, doesn't have that dog in him. But we'll find out this weekend. Tonight. Number 3. Bills. Number 4. Dan at Kirk. I am calling him Dan Dimes from now on because Danny boy done grown up. I don't care what anybody says. Give me Dan. Give me Dan Jones. Dan Jones, Saquon Barkley, Isaiah Hodgins, and Brian Porkrinds Dable are headed to the Ice Cube, beautiful stadium, in Minnesota. This is where Kirk can either become one of the all-time greats and make a run, maybe even a Super Bowl run, or he can really get himself in trouble and have himself possibly in like Tennessee next year. Maybe Indianapolis. Big implications for him, particularly. But Justin Jefferson is an animal. He is a beast. He is the best receiver in the league right now. Dalvin Cook is a weapon on that turf inside. They seem to play better. It's going to be tough for Dable to pull this out. But we've seen how Dable has made muffins out of garbage early in his career in Buffalo. That one is going to be good. I think that one goes down to the wire just because I don't think Dan gives up. Dan doesn't quit. Even though he's a little bit of a slop tart sometimes, he doesn't quit. And I like Dan. Dan and Kirk, the whitest quarterback matchup of the week. Number 4, Snoop and or Bum Knee Lamar. Don't know. Would be nice to see Lamar get out there, maybe give it a shot, maybe at least warm up, maybe at least throw the ball around, maybe at least be a decoy. But we don't know if he's going to play, but Ravens taking on Joey Bags Burrow last week. They played a dude that I'd never even heard of before, the Ravens, that is. They didn't show much. They played some backups, and they still made it a game. Roquan Smith, middle linebacker for the Ravens, certified BLEUMAFIA soldier. Kyle Hamilton, certified 6'5" defensive back, certified. Patrick Queen moves out to the outside linebacker. This Ravens defense is good enough to at least make this a dangerous situation. And Snoop Huntley, if you could just get us 225 and 2 tuds, we got it. I'm rooting for the Ravens, obviously, in that one. And then they saved the best for last. Not really, though. Gag me bowl of the week. Dak taking on Tom Brady. I hate to say it. I'm definitely rooting for the Cowboys this week. I'm kind of rooting for Ezekiel Elliott to have a big playoff performance. I don't know why. Ever since his performance for Ohio State in the college football situation, I believe it was one of the earliest playoff with Cardell Jones. That was some of the best running I've ever seen a guy do in the biggest moments. And I wouldn't mind seeing Zeke get his flowers in the playoffs just this week. But Dak, come on, man. What do you got? This one's on you. Can you finish this? Can we move on? They had a good year. They're not a bad team. They still remind me of the prison guards from The Longest Yard, but they've got a shot. Let's give you your picks for the week. Gino at Purdy. I'm going gut here, and I'm going to just roll through them. I really think the Seahawks win. I don't know why. Probably because of Purdy effect. Herbie at Trev. I'm going Trev because of the home cooking, and I just don't think that throwing to Austin Eckler 65 times is going to win. Josh, obviously, Bills. Dan at Kirk. I really think the Giants can win, and I think this is going to be a weird week. Fuck it. Giants. Ravens at Burrow. Unfortunately, I still think Burrow's got too much. Dak at Tom. Does the NFL let the Cowboys win? What does the NFL tin hat community think about this one? Who fixes who in this one? On prime time. Tom has not been exactly a shepherd for the game with his antics and his weird stuff. Cowboys. So that is Seahawks, Jaguars, Bills, Giants, Bengals, Cowboys. That's it. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the Bills game. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Go Bills.